Hey guys, Jared here with a quick piece of Nintendo news. Once again, we have another leak on our hands. Well, at this point, to be honest, I think they're just predictions because a majority of the leaks that I've covered have ended up not being true at all. And I've pretty much known they haven't been true, but honestly, it just creates for a really interesting conversation. I love going through the comment section of my videos and seeing what everyone has to say and so everyone's opinions on these so-called leaks. Because, well, like I said, at this point, I don't think they can really be considered leaks anymore. They seem to be wild predictions. However, this leak in particular covers a whole range of Nintendo stuff and not just particularly honing in on Smash Bros. On its own. And the only thing that gives this leak an ounce of credibility is that the leaker did successfully predict quite a number of things that Nintendo had actually ended up doing, so which just makes it more interesting. They predicted that there was going to be a new Mario Golf game, Skyward Sword HD, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, Famicom Detective Series, and a Ninja Gaiden Sigma trilogy. And to that I say, well, it doesn't take a genius to have really predicted those things. It's obvious that we're going to get a Diamond and Pearl remake. Mario Golf, well, Nintendo always released Mario Golf games. Skyward Sword HD, well, that was pretty obvious as well since it's the anniversary of Legend of Zelda this year. The only ones that I would say are somewhat impressive are the Famicom Detective Series and the Ninja Gaiden Sigma trilogy. And I'm only saying that because I don't really know too much about that series. Maybe if you know more about it, it was also quite obvious that those two series were going to happen, this year. But what also makes me think that this is instantly not a leak at all is the fact that this has been posted by an anonymous 4chan user, which, well, whenever you see anonymous, it's just, well, this is obviously probably not going to be true. Anyway, let's get on to some of these so-called leaks that this 4chan user have predicted. They've said we're going to get Mario Kart 9 officially announced, which honestly is once again no surprise because, well, Mario Kart 8 was released on the Wii U back in 2014, 7 years ago, so, Mario Kart 9 being announced this year really isn't too far-fetched. The user also confirms what we already know, that A Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be released in 2021, and they've said it's going to be fully released and stuff later in 2021, which is obvious because we already knew this. And they also said that there's going to be some sort of announcement of a Legend of Zelda port for like an older game being brought onto the Switch. Which, once again, as it's the anniversary, that's very much not surprising. Another major reveal coming from this Nintendo leak is that there's going to be a new 2D Metroid game in the works. This is allegedly in production by Metroid Samus Returns developer Mercury Steam and is releasing very soon. He also mentioned that there's a possibility that a Metroid Prime trilogy will be released on the Nintendo Switch, which is, well, pretty much long overdue since we're still waiting to hear anything else about Metroid Prime 4. The 4chan user also says there's going to be an upcoming Kirby game in the works, as well as a Dark Souls 2 port to the Nintendo Switch. Before I get on to the Smash Bros. Fighter leaks, already this is just such a huge chunk of information, and I feel like he's just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. There's so much information to unload here. It seems so unlikely that every one of these things are going to get announced in one Nintendo Direct or throughout the year. It just seems unlikely to me. And finally, his predictions for the last two DLC fighters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate are Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series and Matoi from Phantasy Star Online 2. And he's also said there's going to be other new fighters in development following the conclusion of Fighters Pass 2. Now, not only do I think that this leak is completely fake, I now hope this leak is completely fake. Because if those are the two final characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Ryu Hayabusa and Matoi, then this is probably going to be a more disappointing end to a Fighter's Pass than ending the first one with Byleth. I've got no real qualms with Ryu Hayabusa being in the game. Like, Ninja Gaiden is a huge series, and personally I wouldn't really care if he was in the game, but I can respect the series and respect how big it is. But if they finished up the Fighters Pass Volume 2 with Matoi, like, who is Matoi? Like, you cannot tell me Matoi is a well-known character. I mean, I'm sure, like, Matoi is probably really big over in the East, but, you know, even, like, well, Dragon's Quest is big in the East, but I don't play Dragon's Quest, but I'm aware of the series. I've never heard of Phantasy Star Online 2, and with all these predictions flying about of a new Pokemon, or Crash Bandicoot, or Rayman, if it ended on Matoi, oh my goodness, it'll be tragic. Like I said, I really do feel as if this leak is completely fake. I do not believe it for 1 second. I think they're gonna get some stuff right and be like, oh yes, I was correct about my leak I said. Because he's literally thrown every single possibility at the wall, and he's just gonna see what sticks. He's gonna see what's right. He's just predicting the obvious, and I think where he's gonna trip up the most is probably the Smash Bros character. Like, he hasn't gone into any sort of details on anything other than the Smash Bros characters, and I think he's wrong on those. And well, we're gonna know the next Smash Bros character by E3 this year, so he's only got 2 months until we find out whether or not this leak is actually going to be entirely fake, or it could maybe be true. But what do you guys think? Do you believe in this leak, or are you in the same camp as me and you do not believe in this whatsoever? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe for all things Nintendo.